we've got another wonderful guest with us here today. He's called Bill Kent. He's Executive Director of the Association of Energy Engineers. And, well, Bill, welcome. Nice to see you here.
Thanks, Nick. It's great to be here with you today at this 10th Global Conference on Energy Efficiency. We've been to many of these, and we're certainly proud to participate again today.
Right, okay. So you represent many people in the energy engineering industry, in a sense. And I suppose many people might wonder, okay, I never really thought about that. Maybe somebody pops around to my house occasionally to adjust the temperature here and there. But, you know, tell us a little bit more. Who are these people that you represent?
Okay, great. Well, it's a great question, and we don't really pop around to houses, but you know, we just had the grand opening here, and one of the session immediately after the welcome was, you know, awareness to ambition to action. So when I think about action, we need people. And the people that do that action are energy engineers in many cases. So we're a nonprofit and we have members, and our members are energy engineers. And what an energy engineer does is they really manage all of the energy at a commercial building, at a manufacturing facility, at a hospital, at a campus. So they really evaluate and optimize all of the energy performance at a facility. So what does that mean? Look at everything from the usage of energy, where it comes from, what type of energy, whether it's gas, whether it's electric, whether it's generating your own heat. Look at that and look at everything, lighting all the way through, do an economic analysis on cost savings, on climate action, on greenhouse gas reduction, carbon reduction, and make recommendations, and then actually manage and implement the projects. So the energy engineers they are the doers who implement the energy efficiency projects. We had former Vice President Al Gore speak to our members a year ago, and one of the things he said is, you know, I've trained over 3 million people in climate advocacy, and he said they're passionate, but he said really we need more people, the engineers who are the doers, those who actually go out and do the work that makes the impact. So that's what our members do.
And I imagine it's, in many cases, it's a highly skilled job, right? Because so much has evolved in recent years. Managing distributed energy systems, wind power here, maybe battery storage there, all coming together in systems with digitalization, obviously a lot of monitoring, computers, things like that, checking that everything's functioning. It must be from both, you know, a nuts and bolts job, presumably, I don't know, putting up a wind turbine is an engineering job as well, but the actual managing in a hospital or a building or a complex, you know, it's a skilled job, right?
It is a skilled job. It's usually a degreed engineer or someone who's had many years experience with specialized training, and then years of experience specifically in the energy space. Right. So it is highly skilled.
Right. So you're here at the IEA, and it's a big conference. They produce these marvelous reports telling us exactly where we are going in the right direction, where we're not going in the right direction. In your view, is the energy efficiency side very, very important to you? Is it both supply and energy efficiency? Or are you more on the energy efficiency side, or is it both?
Well, I think it's more on the energy efficiency side.
Okay.
We're about to celebrate our 50th anniversary, so when we were founded in 1977, it was energy management, all on the energy management, the demand side.
Right.
And it still is the main focus, but also when we're looking at that, we also have to look at how are you producing your energy? Should you generate your own? Should you, have cogeneration? Should you have wind, solar? What do you do for backups, et cetera? So it's primarily on the demand side, on the energy efficiency side, but we also have to evaluate the supply as a part of that.
Yeah, okay, got you. So I see from one of the IEA reports that came out, it was either last night or this morning, that we sort of, in the past, we're doing okay on energy intensity, on energy efficiency, but there seems to be globally a bit of a stalling in the last few years. At the UN Climate Conference in Dubai, COP28, there was this target. I was never quite sure whether it was an old target that was refreshed or whether it was a really new target, but anyway, there was a target set. Tripling of renewables and doubling of energy efficiency.
Right.
Do you feel that we're on track to meet this goal. Do you feel there are some ways that we could unlock more ambition in this area? What are your thoughts about these targets and how it's going?
Well, I think the first thing is I think it's fantastic that at COP28 in the Emirates that we had this UAE consensus where 200 countries signed to triple renewable energy and to double the rate of energy efficiency progress. The data, it's not what I think. The data shows that we are not doing very well. I think the plan was to double from 2% to 4% improvement in energy efficiency, and last year, 2024, it was a 1%. So we're really going in the wrong direction. So, I think what we need is more of the same, with actually action tied to that. So certainly policy, we're having more and more policy, they talked about that. We certainly need more and more funding, and there is more and more funding for that. And so then we just need to turn that into the action that they talked about this morning, is the action. There's so many proven solutions, both in technology and just in implementation. There's so many solutions, and we just need to implement and do more of those. We need corporations and governments, both public and private, to embrace that and to move forward with these solutions if we're going to really meet this doubling of energy efficiency. And as I said, most of it is proven solutions that have a great payback. We talked about the economic payback, they increase competitiveness, they certainly, have climate impact, and they also have security impact. So all of these proven solutions, we just need more implementation of those.
I saw that, I think it's the energy efficiency movement also had something out yesterday. Talked about the higher upfront costs of quite a few energy efficiency, but the payback's great after that, but there's a slightly higher upfront cost. Shortage of skilled labor, that's engineers, of course, and others. But I know in Europe it's been a problem with heat pumps, for example. And that some companies get a bit bewildered by the IT that's surrounding some of this new creativity in managing energy. Do those chime with you? I mean, are those some of the areas that we need to beef up a bit? More people trained, a bigger labor force, skilled in these areas? Something to deal with the slightly more expensive upfront costs maybe to encourage more industries to adopt or businesses to adopt, I don't know.
Sure, I would say a couple of things. Certainly there's new technologies and AI and things coming around, but there's so many proven technologies, whether it be replacing motors, adding heat pumps, et cetera. But something that we see on a major basis is there's approximately now about 10 million people in the energy efficiency space, and that's expected to grow by 5 million by 2030, which is good. But we survey our members in the energy industry, and currently over 75% of our members in the industry around the world say there's currently a shortage of competent energy professionals. And when you add with that a retiring workforce that have been traditionally male dominated in this area, about 40% of the workforce is expected in energy engineers expected to retire in the next 10 years. So we are facing a workforce shortage. So both with retirement, growth in the industry, we see that as a major issue, and that we need to start really engaging the youth so that we get more young people. This is a career path, energy engineer, that really makes a difference. Really, it has tremendous climate impact, and it can be a highly successful and profitable career as well. So we see a massive shortage coming of the workforce, and we're working to mentor, to give scholarships, to bring more people into this, to address this shortage so that we have these experts, the doers, who can actually implement and take action on all of these projects.
Interesting. So I think we probably need to come towards the end here. I think you probably covered some of these issues, but maybe, if you had any additional messages for governments and their commitments to this energy transition. We could cover many things, but I mean, we've got 5 years to halve global greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, you'd have a 50-50 chance of hitting net zero. We could delve into that. I mean, it's an urgent moment, right? So what do we say to governments? And also, I think, these jobs, these good jobs, some people would call them green jobs. Yeah, this is about social impacts, but also environmental and affordability impacts. It's a big time, yeah.
Sure, I would say it's kind of a final comment and summary for me is that, we're having more policy, we're having more funding, and I think, I have the opportunity to address many groups around the world, and I always like to ask a question, when you think about your energy, what is most important to you personally? And I'll ask you this, is it that your energy be clean energy, green energy?
Yes.
Is it that it's affordable and equitable?
Yeah, I don't mind paying a small premium, but not too much.
Okay, or the third one is reliability the most important?
Yeah, I never thought about that, because it always seems to be quite reliable, so I've never had a problem.
Okay.
But yeah, if it didn't switch on the lights, I'd go, what the heck's going on, yeah.
Right, so overwhelmingly, the vast majority say reliability.
Right.
So I think we all want a clean energy future and a transition to clean energy, but I think a key part of that is a reliable transition. We want the power to stay on, we need a base load, we certainly need to transition and decarbonize for clean energy, but I think reliability is key. And I think energy engineers can play a key role in working with those setting policy and funding to ensure that, that we're both setting policy and funding something that can be achievable in an amount of time and maintain reliability through that. So that's a key thing we think is maintaining reliability throughout this transition.
And they're actually at the cutting edge of all this. They're out there in the field. They hear what businesses and other companies tell them about things, which is sometimes very far from what the policymakers hear. And so I think bringing that voice into these kinds of big conferences and big debates is really crucial, all right? So
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us with We Don't Have Time here in Brussels at the International Energy Agency.
Thank Nick, it's been my pleasure. It's a great event and proud to share my climate love.
Exactly, you can share your climate love wherever you like, as long as it's legal.
Yes, good point. Thank you, Nick.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, bye.